Welcome back with True Power Comics. Today we have another Part 1 and Part 2 put together for your convenience. Part 1 and Part 2 of superheroes who ended their villains for good, aka superheroes who broke the no-kill rule. And if you like this, please hit a like. And don't forget to subscribe because only a small percent of you have subscribed after watching the videos. Now, on to the video. The legendary saga of Batman and the Joker. The Caped Crusader's unwavering commitment to justice has always clashed with the Crown Prince's wicked desire to bring chaos to Gotham City. But hey, even the Bat has his breaking points, and let me tell you, it's downright jaw-dropping. Hold up, did I just say Batman broke his no-kill policy? Yeah, you heard that right, folks. Prepare yourself for a wild ride through the pages of comic book history where Batman's moral compass gets a little wonky. So, remember that classic tale, Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns? In this twisted masterpiece, Bruce Wayne is pushed to his limits by none other than the Joker. And guess what? Our beloved Bat actually snaps the Joker's neck. I mean, talk about a plot twist of epic proportions. As the story unfolds though, readers are left scratching their head with the Joker starts babbling away, seemingly still alive. It's like a twisted game of, is he really dead, or is he just messing with us? Well, the prevailing theory is that the heart-to-heart conversation occurred entirely within the Batman's noggin. One thing's for sure, it takes a special kind of superhero to have an imaginary fight with his own nemesis while breaking his own rules. Oh Batsy, you really know how to keep us guessing. So, let's talk about the thrilling showdown in Black Panther between T'Challa and Eric Killmonger. Killmonger's fate is a bit, murky. You see, he's the one who went ahead and stabbed himself with a dagger, taking his own life like he was auditioning for a Shakespearean tragedy. In a plot twist that even caught me off guard. But hold on, folks. We can't ignore the fact that Black Panther himself delivered the final blow. I mean, technically, he's the one who landed the killing strike, sealing the deal on this villain's fate. But let's be clear. T'Challa didn't set out to end his cousin's life. His intentions were as noble as a vibranium itself. But alas, he was forced to make a gut-wrenching choice, so our king had no other option. But you can't always control the outcomes, can ya? Hey, that's the complexity of being a superhero. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, even if it means inadvertently sending your cousin to the great beyond. And moving on with our number 3, the clash of gods and Amazons. Let's dive into Wonder Woman's comic book realm, where the epic showdowns unfold in all their inked out glory. And in a legendary run by Gail Simone, there came a moment that left jaws dropping and comic book pages turning faster than the flash on a caffeine rush. The Rise of the Olympian was a saga that brought an end to Diana's intense rivalry with Ares. After enduring countless shenanigans from all-powerful God of War, our warrior princess had simply had enough. And what did Wonder Woman do? Oh, nothing. She just wielded an axe and drove it right into Ares' head. I mean, we all expected an epic showdown, but Wonder Woman took a detour from the classic hero-villain dance and gave her nemesis the quick, vicious ending he deserved. Now I know what you're thinking. We all know the Dark Knight's unwavering stance against lethal force. But hey, sometimes even the Bat has to make tough decisions that shake the very foundation of his principles. Picture this. The Dark Knight himself facing an impossible choice between saving Jim Gordon's son or breaking his moral code, killing somebody. It's like a twisted game of to kill or not to kill in the blockbuster film The Dark Knight. And what does our brooding hero do? Well, in a moment that left fans gasping and debates raging, Batman shoves Harvey Dent, now known as Two-Face, to his unfortunate demise. Whoa, drop the mic. But wait, before you start judging Batman, let's rewind a little bit. Two-Face practically painted him into a corner with his dastardly actions. He left the Caped Crusader with no other viable options. Oh Harvey, when you force a hero to make an impossible choice, you better be ready for the consequences, even if it means a little oopsies, with a villain plummeting to his death. Moving on with our number 5. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. where heroes shine brightly and villains, well, usually stay on the lighter side. But hey, every rule has an exception, and in Peyton Reed's Ant-Man, we got a taste of the MCU's darker side flipped on its head. Yellow Jacket was a character that brought a touch of darkness to the Marvel films. This guy had a serious indifference to turning creatures into mushy piles of matter. Yikes. But fear not, for the plate-sized hero, Ant-Man himself was ready to take down this brand new villain, and boy did he come up with a genius move that left us in awe and, well, a tad uneasy. Scott Lang, in one of his most brilliant moments, destroyed the very particles that granted Yellow Jacket his size-altering powers. But hold on, folks, this wasn't just a run-of-the-mill defeat. No, this decision had a darker twist. By obliterating those particles, Scott essentially caused Darren, aka Yellow Jacket, to shrink out of existence. Poof, gone. Talk about thinking outside the box. And last but not least, we have a character who continuously breaks his own rule. Yep, you guessed it, it's Batman again. Now, we all know Batman's strict code against using guns in combat. It's like his own personal anti-firearms crusade, a symbol of his unwavering commitment to justice. But sometimes, even the Bat has to make exceptions, and in Final Crisis, they gave us a jaw-dropping example. In a shocking turn of events, Batman found himself facing off against the godlike Darkseid. It was a battle that pushed the limits of his physical and moral boundaries. And guess what? To defeat his otherworldly villain, Batman resorted to using a firearm. A firearm. Yeah, you heard that right. The hero known for his no-killing policy actually shot and killed Darkseid with a Radion bullet, in a game-changing move that left fans wide-eyed and scratching their heads. But before you start questioning Batman's principles, let's not forget that he had paid a heavy price for this deadly action. The villain's Omega beams nearly decapitated him, pushing him to the brink of death. Oh Batman, you really know how to make things complicated. A no-killing hero who shoots a god? Now that's a twist even Alfred didn't see coming. Now, let's talk about an unforgettable Wolverine film. Say what you will, but it's not every day you see a superhero movie that ends with our hero giving the villain a little bit off the top. The first big screen version of Deadpool proved to be a formidable foe for Wolverine in this film's climactic battle. Atop a glowing nuclear reactor, our adamantium-clawed hero and the Mark with the Mouth engage in a deadly duel. Deadpool, now the silent type, finds himself at a disadvantage against the primal ferocity of Wolverine and his not-so-friendly partner in crime, Sabretooth. Deadpool's additional powers may give him an edge, but let's face it, it's hard to argue with adamantium claws slicing through the air right at your face. And just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, that's when Wolverine, fueled by the desire to end the fight once and for all, makes a bold move. With a swift, decisive swipe, Deadpool's head goes rolling like a rogue bowling ball. Talk about a dramatic haircut. It's a scene that leaves you simultaneously shocked, impressed, and maybe just a little disturbed. But hey, that's the wild world of superheroes for you. Well. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive into the darkest corners of animated Batman stories. This particular scene takes us back to the early days of Batman Beyond, where a flashback reveals a chilling encounter involving Batman, Tim Drake's Robin, and none other than the Joker. Bruce Wayne, still donning the cape and cowl as Batman, finds himself in a perilous situation alongside Batgirl and Robin. But here's the twist. Tim Drake, the once trusted sidekick, has fallen victim to the Joker's twisted clutches. Kidnapped, tortured, and brainwashed, Tim is now a pawn in the Joker's wicked game. The stakes couldn't be higher, and as if things weren't intense enough, Tim, under the Joker's influence, unveils Batman's true identity, leaving our hero vulnerable and exposed. It's a shocking portrayal that sends shivers down your spine. But wait, it gets even more twisted. The Joker, always one to revel in chaos and cruelty, seizes the upper hand, ruthlessly stabbing Batman in the leg. And just when you think it couldn't get any darker, the Clown Prince of Crime, with his trademark deranged smile, hands a gun to Tim. The Joker wants the former Robin to murder his own mentor. Talk about a psychological nightmare. In a moment that will haunt your dreams, Tim manages to break free from the Joker's conditioning. With a burst of courage and defiance, he turns the tables on the Joker, shooting the clown instead. It's a chilling, disturbing, and undeniably powerful moment that showcases the complex web of loyalty, trauma, and darkness that permeates in the Batman mythos. Get ready for the dark twist involving the iconic clash between Superman and the notorious Joker. It all starts with the Joker, always the mastermind of chaos, devising a diabolical plan to manipulate the Man of Steel. Brace yourselves for a tale that will leave you stunned. Taking advantage of Superman's unwavering devotion to justice, the Joker drugs him, causing him to hallucinate that his beloved Lois Lane is the monstrous Doomsday. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Superman tragically ends up unwittingly killing Lois and their unborn child. Grief-stricken and consumed by an overwhelming bloodlust, Superman's sanity is pushed to the brink. In this dark moment, not even Batman, the epitome of reason, can reach the Man of Steel. It's a clash of ideologies as Superman succumbs to a blinding rage, seeking revenge against the Joker for the unimaginable loss he has suffered. And in an act that shocked the world, Superman unleashes his devastating power upon the Joker, tearing out the clown's heart. It's a terrifying act of justice that reflects the pain and betrayal inflicted upon Superman. The Joker metaphorically tore Superman's heart out, so Clark returned the favor. Ah, Francis, the man who definitely had it coming. It's time to relive the epic showdown between the Merc with a Mouth and the devious Ajax. This one's a roller coaster of revenge, personal stakes, and a healthy dose of Deadpool's trademark banter. Ajax, after subjecting poor Wade Wilson to an unimaginable torment to transform him into a mutant, commits his second blunder by kidnapping Vanessa, Wade's lover. Talk about playing with fire. But then something unexpected happens. The cargo ship that they're fighting on flips, turning the battleground into a high-stakes environment. Amid the chaos, Deadpool gains the upper hand, pummeling Ajax mercilessly. It's a satisfying sight as Francis receives a well-deserved beating that leaves him a bloody mess. Ouch. However, just when Deadpool thinks he's finally found a way to reverse his deformities, the harsh truth hits him like a ton of bricks. Ajax can't actually cure him. Talk about a punch to the gut. With no reason left to keep Francis alive, Deadpool prepares to end him right then and there. But wait, here comes our friend Colossus. He goes all out trying to convince Deadpool to spare Francis's life. It's a moment of heartfelt sincerity in the midst of all the carnage. But, let's face it, when it comes to Deadpool, heartfelt speeches have a way of falling on deaf ears. Colossus may have wasted his breath and his breakfast, because Deadpool is not one to easily change his mind. He shoots him right through the head while cracking a joke. Sorry, Colossus. Nice try. Let's dive into the cosmic chaos of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Set a few months after the first film, this epic sequel introduced us to Star-Lord's celestial father, Ego, played by the one and only Kurt Russell. Ego, as a celestial being, had been around for billions of years, accumulating power and strength like nobody's business. He seemed invincible until it became clear that his intentions were far from noble. That's when the Guardians of the Galaxy decided to save the day, because who else could handle such a cosmic menace? With Star-Lord and his ragtag team on the case, they hatched a plan to bring down Ego. Rocket, the genius raccoon, cooked up a bomb that would pack a punch like no other. Baby Groot, with his expert timing and hilarious antics, became the key to their success. Picture this. As the battle rages on, Rocket sets a bomb in motion, but it's baby Groot who steals the show with his pint-sized heroics. Groot waddles over to where the bomb needs to be placed, maneuvering through the chaos with his tiny limbs. As the tension builds, he pushes the button, triggering the bomb at the precise last moment. Boom! Ego's brain is annihilated, effectively eliminating his sinister plan of turning the entire universe into extensions of himself. Talk about an explosive victory. And last but never least, hold on tight because we're about to relive the heart-pounding conclusion of the MCU's Infinity Saga and Avengers Endgame. It was the epic battle to end all battles, as the original Avengers took center stage for their final stand. In this climactic film released in 2019, the stakes could not have been higher. With the fate of the universe hanging in the balance, the Avengers faced their greatest challenge yet, Thanos, the Mad Titan. But leave it to Tony Stark, the ingenious Iron Man, to have one last trick up his sleeve. As the Battle of Earth reached its peak, Tony, ever the genius, crafted an Iron Man suit capable of harnessing the power of the Infinity Stones. With sheer determination, he snatched the stones from the clutches of Thanos and in a bold move, snapped his fingers, unleashing their mighty force. It was a moment of absolute heroism and sacrifice. In that fateful snap, Tony's actions led to the eradication of Thanos and his entire army. It was a breathtaking moment that sealed the universe's survival and brought an end to Thanos. But for Tony Stark, this victory came at a tremendous cost. As the universe breathed a collective sigh of relief, it was a bittersweet moment for Tony, who knew that the sacrifice would be his last. Snapping his fingers not only saved countless lives, but also marked the end of his own. It was a heartbreaking farewell to a character who had become an iconic member of the MCU. In that selfless moment, he became a symbol of hope, reminding us that true heroism often demands the greatest sacrifices. His legacy as Iron Man and his impact on the Marvel Cinematic Universe would forever be etched in our hearts.